All right, good morning, everyone. This is your weekly podcast, the Migration Truth Podcast, where we provide our audiences with step-by-step guide on what is obtainable when you plan to travel abroad to any part of Europe, be it Germany, Italy, or whatever you may have it. So, and today I have a very special guest in the house by the name DK. I call him Rolex, and he's also Kibito. So you may want to introduce yourself, my good friend. Good to have you again on the show.
So much, Michael. My name is DK Ebuka. Uh, yeah, the Rolex thing is also my name, but it's DK Rolex on Facebook because I think this name we have to get it right at some point and use a consistent name because I have one experience I would like to share. Maybe later or I can do it now. I met someone, a new student here in my school, and she recognized me. She's from Ghana. And when she
Okay.
recognized the face, and she told me that she watched one of our session here, one of our videos that
Yeah,
helped
yeah.
her during her plan to study in Italy.
Wow. That's a
Yes,
good one.
so she said that into me, and she said she tried contacting me through any of the platforms. She was looking for my name. She didn't get the name. She didn't remember the name. She knows it's
Okay.
DK. Doesn't know the next name. So she went on LinkedIn and several platforms, but she couldn't find it. So I think we need to
Uh-huh.
use a more consistent name or use a name that is attached to one of our social media handles so that people can actually reach out when they need to. Yeah.
And that's a very wonderful feedback. So so what name are we going to be using now?
DK Buka is fine because probably if you find me on LinkedIn, you will see DK Buka Venatius. Maybe we'll
Ah,
just put name there and then you can actually reach me out on LinkedIn as well. Yeah.
that's very well. That's wonderful. So welcome on the show today, DK. Now we're talking about traveling to Italy for studies. If I am a student intending to travel to Italy for study, what should be the first things on my mind?
Okay. Now you have already picked the first thing, which is to study in Italy. Probably
Okay.
if you are in Ghana, if you are in Nigeria, if you are in Cameroon, you would first of all think, okay, where should I go to study? In Europe or in America or maybe anywhere you feel like. But then you already picked Italy,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
let's talk about Italy. So
Okay.
when you talk about Italy, when you have Italy in mind, that's where you want to study. Then you also look at what do you want to study.
Yeah.
What you want to study? You want to study medicine, you want to study engineering, you want to study finance. Uh, you know, when you and also it depends if you are going for bachelor's or master's or PhD, and then you look into schools that have such courses or schools that can give you uh the best, actually the best. So it really depends on what you want to study as well. If you want to study medicine, there are schools I can recommend to go to. Probably if you want to study finance as well, if you want to study engineering, the University of Milano Bicocca, it's also a good place to study finance. Yeah, and also the University of I think not University Polytechnic di Milano. Yeah, if you want to do architectural designs, you want to do engineering, the school is also good. And also my university, I like to project my university out, University of Salerno. Since most places we don't know, but it's really good for studies in engineering. And also, it is the first medical university in the whole world, University of Salerno.
Wow.
Yes, my school, the first medical university in the whole world. So most people don't know about the history. But then also in my school, you will see them celebrating 80 years anniversary and the rest. But it's about history because they came as the first university, medical university in the whole world. But then there is this uh, Napoli war with Salerno, and then they had to take away the center from Salerno down to Napoli, and then later they brought it back. With they reopened the university again to start other courses. So it's way back so many centuries ago. So I like to mention it to people. Maybe they can also research. It is the first medical university in the whole world. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you want to study in Italy, you have to check what you want to study. The schools, you start searching for schools that have that kind of courses to study. And there is a really important place to go search. It's called Universitali. It's an online website. It's owned by Italy also. It's where you can apply through Universitalia as well. So you can go there to search universities and search the school. It has a filter. When you put all the things that you want, it will filter it and bring so many options for you, and then you begin to look into them. You have to check school fee, you have to check the scholarship, you have to check several things, and then you're good to go from that step.
All right. So when you choose now, for what you're saying, your choice of course of study will
Yeah.
also inform the city or that you're going to stay, and then also by essential the university that you study.
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
what about the differences? And do I need to be able to speak the Italian language? Is it a requirement to forget scholarship courses studies?
No, because you know that if you are coming for the first time, you probably cannot fluently speak the language or understand the language. So you're going to be looking for courses taught in English, or probably, I think there are courses taught. If you are going to go for a language course, and then you can look for, okay, maybe a course in French, but you're not doing a language course. We're talking about general courses like engineering, business, and say. So if you're going to go for those courses, you're going to look for universities that teach that course in English. The University of Messina, they teach medicine in English, but at some point in the middle, you will switch to Italian. I think in the second or third year, it will be in Italian. So that means you need a level of Italian as well. When you arrive, you start learning the language. But most universities don't teach medicine in English because they want to teach you very well. They want to put the way they understand it. These are Italian professors who understand their language better. So they teach it in their language to impact really well. But then there are, like I said, the University of Messina teach it in English for the first 2 years, I think, in English, and then in the third year you start Italian because uh, they go for a lot of how will I put it? Like, is it practice? They go to the hospitals, to do some research and some learning as well. So when you meet patients there, you communicate with them in Italian, not in English. You understand? So that's why it's changed in the second year to English. So it's not really a requirement to understand Italian first, unless you're going for a course taught in Italian. But I suggest that someone coming from a country away from Italy would not want to pick a course in Italian first. You pick a course in English. When you come here, you learn the language easily. So it's a requirement to have the Italian language first.
So, but is it possible for one to study for the entire period of the program in English, or at some point you must have to switch to Italian?
No, no, I gave that example because of the importance of that particular course, medicine. If you're going to practice medicine, you're going to come in contact with patients. So you have to understand how they see their body. You have to understand how to explain the
Yeah, yeah,
sickness to
yeah.
them. So that's why at some point, and it's really a good privilege that you have it in English for the first 2 years. So then you can take that first 2 years to learn the language. So when they now switch to Italian, you can still follow up. But there are other courses like what I'm studying now. I'm studying entirely in English for the whole 2 years. So like there are other courses too that's completely in English. They don't switch. But since you are in another country, you have to integrate. And one of the
Yeah.
best ways to integrate is to learn the language. So it's really important to know the language, but it's not a requirement for coming over first.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and as a matter of fact, because I want to assume that the lingua franca there is Italian,
yes,
not
just
English.
only
So
Italian.
which
Yes.
means even if you are done with your studies, if you must integrate, you must have to flow with the Italian language.
Your study time is like a how will I put it, an opportunity for you to learn the language. Also, in my
Yeah.
university, based on some scholarships, you have the free Italian courses, so you go for Italian classes for free. You understand? But you
Okay.
need exams also so that you can have the certificate. So when you leave the university, you have the proficiency certificate of proficiency of Italian language. And then if you are in any company and they are asking you what is your proficiency in Italian, you present your certificate and then you can communicate at least the basics, try to have a little communication with customers or with your employers. So with time you get really really integrated and then you understand everything better. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you. So now, could you please quickly walk us through the step-by-step guide on how you started from Nigeria, maybe from visa application and all that, and then
Yeah.
landing in Italy? Yeah.
Yeah, the process is quite simple when we talk about it, but it's difficult when you are into it. Now the process
Okay.
of intention is that
Please,
an
this is tricky. It's simple when you talk about it, but difficult when you walk through it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's have it.
That's the good twist. When you start working through it, then you know that no, this is not simple. So it takes determination for you to
Okay.
achieve that goal particularly. So I mean that when you have the mindset to study in Italy, then you pick the school. The search for the school is one way difficult thing to do. Most people just give up at that point because you have to search for the school that teach that your course or that has something related. I'm talking about, let's say, master's degree now. You finish your BSc in Nigeria, you study mechanical engineering, and then you want to study in Italy with your mechanical engineering background. Now, there are courses that says for masters, we need mechanical engineering background from your BSc. So you have to look for those kind of schools. Now, how do you filter those kind of schools? That's why I gave the example of the Universitali website at first. You can go there, put what you want and filter it. It will bring you so many options of schools that study that courses. And then you start looking for the ones that study them in English. Like for me now, I'm studying smart industry engineering. It needs a background of management engineering or mechanical engineering. So you must have had your BSc or your HND degree in management engineering or mechanical engineering for you to assess the course. So that's what I mean. You have to pick the university first, and then look for the courses if they are taught in English, and then you look for the application period. Most application period are between November to, let's say, May, June. You understand? May, June. But around that May, June, they will be closing gradually. So most times the application opens from December, and in January, February, March, it is intense. A lot of schools open at that time for the application. January, February, March, a lot of schools. So if you want to start, it is better you start early to have all your options. Now the process is once you find those universities and they are open for application, make sure you already have your documents down. I think we should even talk about the documents you need particularly. So I think there are like 5 major documents that you need particularly for to study your your master's degree in Italy. So first you need your bachelor's degree, then you need the transcripts of record, you need the statement of purpose, your motivation letter. Then you need some recommendation letters from your professors, from where you work, and then you need an English proficiency, either a letter from your school or the English international English exams you can write online, and then you may have an interview. When you apply, you may have an interview for that course you applied for. So most and these are the basic requirements. And then why I say it's easier said than done is because sometimes the schools in Nigeria frustrate you. They don't give you the things that you really need at the point you need them to apply. So you have to start very, very early. Start getting your documents, and when you get them, as soon as the schools you have put down opens, put in your documents there. Start putting all your documents there. and you have to understand the website as well. So it starts gradually with your intention. You have this intention to go to school and you have the zeal, you are enthusiastic about it. Then you start putting in those that effort to look for the schools, to actually see what they want as requirements. Some schools will tell you, if you have a HND degree, you must add it with a BSc degree. They tell you on their website. Schools like University of Padua, University of Siena, they tell you on their website. So you have to check all these things to know. Also, some people can do try your luck. They apply as many schools as possible with the documents they have. These basic documents I've just listed. They apply with those documents to every university that have a course that is related to what they want to do. And then they could be lucky to get one or two replies. And it only takes one admission for you to be here. If you apply 10 universities and they give you the admissions, it only takes one university to say yes, and then you pick that one. Are you with me, Michael? Can you hear me? So I think I will continue if the audience can hear me, because this is a live video. So you have to put in the work in the first instance, and then you get your result at the end. So studying for master's degree, like I said, I just do a recap. You look for the schools, and then you look for the courses and make sure the courses are taught in English, and then you apply. When you apply as many courses as possible, and then you wait for your admission. The admission period is always like from January to March, and then you wait for your admissions. And once your admission is out, you start the other process, which is the authentication, legalization of your documents. And these things are not supposed to happen. I mean, the authentication process, but then some people in Nigeria are always smarter than the system. They try to make sure that they bypass some processes. So they go through the process of bypassing that authentication phase, and then they are out, you know. So just like Michael asked, the process is it's quite obvious if you're not so determined. But if you are determined, you know the final goal, and then you have to achieve it. So based on scholarships and tuition, you really need to check very well for scholarship and tuitions, and also where that scholarship can make more sense for you. I give an example. There's a scholarship called the Maechi Scholarship, the MAECI. That scholarship is the Italian government scholarship, and is given to students. I think beyond the year 28 years old, you may not access the scholarship if you are beyond 28 years old. But if you are below, I think you have a chance. And then it requires your documents as well. If you are able to get that scholarship, I want to suggest that pick a university in the southern area of Italy. If you pick a university in the southern area of Italy, you will manage that finances better than staying in the north. I mean, if you are living in the north, you get the same amount with someone living in the south, because it's like, I think it's about 9,000 euros that they give, and they don't pay you at once. I think they pay you gradually. And then maybe they pay twice, maybe 4,500, and then the next 4,500 again. But then if you live in a place like Milan or Rome is not actually not, but if you live in a place like Bologna, Rome, Milan, Turin, and all those northern side, you pay more on transportation, food, and then house rent, especially. But if you live in places like, give an example, where I am now, Salerno, or you live in Calabria, you live somewhere in the south, you you manage your finance very, because houses are not so expensive like in the north, and then you also do not pay a lot on transportation and food. So you see that the same amount somebody is spending in the north, you are spending less here, and you are giving the same startup amount. Now, another thing, important thing is that, people when coming to study in Italy or when coming to study in Europe, they see it like we are we want the best, we are going for the best, we are going out, we want to get it as like we want to get it firsthand. And what I mean is, when you want to study in Europe, you 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 from your back home, you look at it like, I'm going to study in Europe, and then I want the best. I want the best job after my study. I want the best things in life after my studies. Then you pick places like the northern side, because there are a lot of companies, there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of things to do in the northern side. But in the southern side, you have a cool-headed place to study. But if you are coming from Africa, or if you're coming from any of the countries to Europe, you are moving here, and once you are here, you are here. You can access anywhere you want to go. So for you to have calm time to study, better management of your finances, I suggest that you come to the southern side than going to the northern side. If you want to take some time to visit the northern side to see what is happening there, you can as well travel from the south to the north easily. Not You don't need a visa again. But from Nigeria or from African countries to go to the northern side, it's not difficult per se, but then you need to show a good proof of funding because of the expensive lifestyle there. That means you need to have good money. So with that your Maestro scholarship, like I mentioned earlier, you may have the leverage immediately the first hand to go. But then, like I mentioned also, the money you are giving in the north is the same money you are giving in the south, and then the management of the money in those two places is different. So in you tend to live a low lifestyle in the northern side because you struggle a bit. You live in a shared apartment. You don't know the kind of person you live in. It's not like you don't live in a shared apartment in the southern side, but you can easily get a room for yourself alone with a little amount, less than that of the northern side. So you can think very well, and you take your time to study. The food are cheap, but in its northern side, it's not so cheap. So what I mean is, in overall, I am suggesting that people who come from the from African countries down to Europe can pick the southern side just to settle in easily than going to the northern side to start struggling immediately you enter, immediately you reach. You may have the scholarship, but then when your money finishes, nobody sends you money from Africa. It's not something that you don't say, please send me money. It's not a normal thing to call back Africa to send you money down here. But if you are here, if you are in the southern side, you can actually manage your finances. So that's one of the scholarships I just wanted to mention out. And then there are also university scholarships as well. Each university has their own scholarship, like where I am, UNISA, it's called UNISA scholarship. And even after the university scholarship, which is let's say UNISA, University of Salerno, the scholarship of University of Salerno, you also have the departmental scholarship. Every department also gives scholarships to their students. And like for my own, the scholarship includes housing, feeding, and stipends. It does not wipe away completely your school fee, because the school fee, when you come here, you have to submit some income document, your family income document, so that your school fee can be reduced down to almost nothing. I give, for example, this year we are paying about 900 euros for school fee, but with your ISE Perificato, which is from your income document, you get your ISE Perificato, and then when you upload your ISE Perificato, your school fees will be recalculated, then it will be reduced to about 150 euros or 125 and euros for Macadabo. The Macadabo is like tax. So you get a really, really discounted school fee after you present your ISE Parificato. So, Michael, welcome back again.
Now, yes, so pardon me if I don't get it right. Did you see Perificato? Well, but again, on the lighter note, as a Catholic, it will be easier for you to learn the language.
You know, Catholic, it's more of Latin than Italian.
Okay.
But Italian
Okay, I think I'm missing that.
you understand, Italian was drawn out of Latin as well. So, but you know, there's a kind of similarity, but it's not the same. You understand? It's not particularly the same, but there's a similarity there because Italian was drawn out of the Latin language. Yeah. I think you are mute.
Yeah, that's good to know. So now, you were talking about this ecom. They'll look about your ecom records, all right? And then
Yeah.
which informs the scholarship. Now, the school is giving scholarship. I think the country or the state is giving scholarship. And then your department is still giving scholarship.
Now, let me
So, but
mention the
okay,
government is giving a
yeah,
scholarship, which is the
yeah,
MAECI, MAECI. The
yeah,
region, you have regional scholarships as well. You have
yeah,
university scholarship as well. You have departmental scholarship as well.
yeah.
So these are the four major ones.
Wow.
There are others, but these are the four major ones. The
Okay,
government scholarship, the Italian government, the regional scholarship, the region as well can give you scholarship. The university gives you scholarship. The department gives you scholarship. So at least you can access one from your country. At least you can apply for one of these scholarships. And also, even if you didn't get any of the scholarship and you were able to come here, you will definitely get the regional scholarship. And it requires some document, like I said earlier, the income document. That income document will be sent to what we call the CAF, CAF. I think that's an abbreviation. I don't really know the full meaning, but that's an abbreviation. They are like a finance expert that calculate your income, your income region where you fall under, and maybe as a poor person, as a rich person, they just calculate it for you and tell you, okay, this is the amount you have to pay as fees. Because normally in Italy you have the right to study. So school fees should not be a problem. So they try to calculate people who should pay more, people who should pay less, in your school fee. We know that okay, this is your family income. This is what you can afford as school fee. They calculate it for you, and then your school fee is reduced. So that is the people that will give you the ISE Perificato after you have sent your family income document to them. They calculate it for you and give you back the ISE Perificato. That is the document that tells you the where you fall under, and then you present it to the university, and then your school fees is reduced.
Hmm. Okay, now, but is it possible to benefit from two or more of the scholarships?
Yes, it is. Now, some are not compatible. Like the government scholarship is not compatible with any other scholarship. You cannot have the government scholarship and have any other scholarship again. You only pick that one. The university scholarship also in my region, it is compatible with the regional scholarship. So you can have the or the departmental scholarship, you can have it also with the regional scholarship. But you cannot have
Okay,
departmental scholarship and also have the university scholarship. You pick only one of those two. But
okay,
the regional scholarship and the university scholarship is compatible in my region, in my school. There are some other places it is not compatible. They don't let you take the two of them. So
okay.
it's like that. You have to know about the region you are, what is affordable, what is accessible there. So for my own place, we can access two of them. So one person can have the university, but what the two is not like they give you the full amount again. Now, if you have the full university scholarship, the regional scholarship is not going to give you the full amount because the regional scholarship contains accommodation as well. but the university scholarship already give you accommodation too. So you cannot have two accommodations. And they don't even know that you have the university scholarship because here they have database. So once they put your name, they know everything about you. They know what you have and what you don't have. So if why I say it's compatible is because you can have some stipend, some amount like the cash from the regional scholarship, but not necessarily the full scholarship because it contains accommodation and food as well. But from the university scholarship, you already have food, accommodation, and stipend. So what the regional scholarship will give you is just the stipend because you already have food and you already have accommodation. So they just give you the stipend.
I think now the compatibility is beginning to make more sense now because imagine the regional is giving you food and the university is still giving you food. Are you there to eat food?
You're not getting food. So they can give you some cash as support. You know, if
Yeah,
basic in the basic cash is not enough, you get more cash as support. Exactly.
yeah.
So that is it. Mm.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm struggling. Rolex. I'm already using Rolex, bro.
It's fine.
Okay, so because you've really downloaded a lot today, you've said a lot today, and it's been very much quite helpful. Anybody intending to travel to Italy should find it much easier now with all that you've said here today. Now, about the preparation, you've already mentioned you and you've always hinted that very strongly that people should start early. It's really important. It's very important that you start very early so that you don't find yourself in a very tight corner because you are a lot of things are outside of your control, especially from back at home, your country home, where getting certain documents might need to take you more visits and all that. So, and I think our audiences have already they got that right.
The embassy these days is really frustrating now. The embassy is really frustrating now because they don't give you appointments now for to legalize documents because you
Mm.
have to legalize the document. So it's really difficult now to get appointments date. What they do now, like I give an example, this year, people who got admissions for this year, even early in June, they were given legalization dates for next year. And
Hmm.
that means you have forfeited the admission for this year.
Wow.
Because if you don't legalize your document, how can you apply for visa? And you have
Mm.
admission for this year, and then they take your legalization appointment to next year. So automatically that admission is already good. That's why I say if you start early, you can do it in a year.
Well, I don't know if you may. I don't know because I desire to know. From what I do know, when you're applying for a visa, if you presented all the documents and they've done your interview and necessary screening has taken place, the next thing is to issue your visa. So I don't know, is it this legalization of document? Is it peculiar with Italy?
Yes, it's a criteria for, but not for all the countries. Now
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
talking about Nigeria, and then I think Zimbabwe and also Ghana. I think Ghana they do the legalization of document as well. But for Nigeria, the information I've gotten so far is that there are no legalization dates, appointments for people. The embassy takes a lot of time to reply emails. When you get your admission, the school send you something they call pre-enrollment summary. Pre-enrollment summary, like a document that shows, okay, this is your name, this is your date of birth, this is the course you applied for, this is the university you applied for, this is the scholarship you have, it just carry all the information, like a summary of everything you have done so far. And then the school
yeah,
says that you download it, or you download it particularly from Universitali, that site I mentioned earlier. You download it from there, and then you add it to your document and go to the embassy for legalization. That pre-enrollment document helps you not to pay any money for your educational documents. But if you have documents that you want to legalize, like marriage certificate, birth certificate, or any affidavit of name change and the rest, you have to pay for that. I think that for this it's about 66,000 naira in Nigeria. So if you if you don't pay, if you pay for your if you want to pay for your document to be legalized, that means you don't need admission. You can actually go to the embassy that okay, I want to legalize my document. Then you are going to pay. If you don't have admission and the pre-enrollment summary, you are going to pay. That's a good step if you have the money, but I think it will cost a lot. So when you take all your documents and go to the embassy that you want to legalize it because you are looking for admission in Italy, and it's a better step also because the embassy is going to issue you something called declaration of value. Now, most Italian universities they need that declaration of value to even give you admission sometimes, or you may get it after. It's always gotten after your legalization. So sometimes, most times, exactly, they don't give you. They don't require the declaration of value because you can only get it from the embassy. So if you apply for universities without the declaration of value, you can get admission and then for legalization to get the declaration of value after legalizing those documents. But also you can apply on your own, say, okay, I don't want to get admission first. I want to go directly to the embassy, legalize my document, get my declaration of value, and then start my application. That helps you after you have done those legalization, you've legalized your documents, you apply for admission. You don't need the embassy to go to the embassy again. You just get your admission, then you go straight to apply for visa.
Mm.
That
Wow.
legalization between is just the phase before your visa application. So if you do
Mm.
it earlier, it's better for you. But if you do it after your admission, it's also okay. But why I'm bringing this here is because of the time difference and not because the embassy is not giving legalization dates anymore. So if you want it to be done faster and earlier and you have the money, you go for legalization without admission. You pay for all your documents, it's legalized for you, and then
Okay,
you come
so
admission and apply for visa.
what you're saying now is you first of all have to secure your admission before you go for a visa application.
Of course, yes. Because why are you coming to Italy if you don't have admission? You're coming to study, right?
Yeah, but is it guaranteed that the visa will be approved once you have your admission?
Now, the thing that makes it not to be approved is your source of income. Do you have money to take care of yourself when you are here? Do you have
Yeah,
scholarship that
yeah,
has covered for you? Now, the
yeah.
embassy this year requires about I I think 2,000 euros or 6,000. No, it was maybe 6,500 euros. Yeah, the embassy requires 6,500 euros for 1 year study. If you are coming to masters, they say for 1 year you need 6,500 euros. Now you need that amount in naira or maybe in CD. So if you have the amount in your account, the Italian embassy likes to know that this money is either your own or from your father or from your mother. Maybe they are your sponsors, or maybe from a relative in Italy that is resident in Italy. They can take that as well, but they don't really like you bringing a lot of people into your sponsorship. Let's say you want to say my uncle's father, my brother, my they don't like all those things. They don't even want to hear my elder brother is sponsoring me because they feel like your elder brother have lots of responsibility. He's just your brother. But your father, you are a responsibility of your father. He has to take care of you. So if he's sponsoring you, it is okay. They can take that. But if you are saying my brother, your brother may have kids, your brother may have a wife, your brother may have, something else to take care of, not to just sponsor you. But then if you are the company sponsor for yourself, let's say you are doing a business, you have your own income, and you can as well raise about, let's say, 5,000 euros. Well, if the other money comes from your brother, it is not bad. They can as well accept it because
Yeah.
it is just a minor support. You are the major support. And then you need to prove that this money is coming from the right source. You are making this money business. You have to present all the documents for the business. Then also, if you have a scholarship, it's quite easy. Like I said, the Italian government scholarship, once you apply for visa with and you have the Italian government scholarship, your visa doesn't take 48 hours. It just comes
Wow.
the
Wow.
visa because you are the government child. The government is taking
Yeah.
care of. What other
Yeah.
proof do they? So that one is easy. Then if you have any other scholarship, like the university scholarship, it's also easy to give you the visa. It might take a week or two, but they give you the visa. Then if you have the departmental scholarship, it is also easy. But sometimes the regional scholarship, there are a lot of regions that don't bring out the list of their scholarship quick. at the time you want to apply for visa. So you may not really rely on regional scholarship because it doesn't come out quick. Some regions doesn't bring their list out quick for people who have gained the scholarship. So it's not really reliable. But you when you arrive here, you can always assess it. So if you are
Mm.
having regional scholarship as a hope, you need to still have your own money. But if you have a university scholarship, that one comes with your admission, so you can.
Okay. Well, I think I wish we could just continue, but we've already overshot the time by about in excess of 10 minutes.
Ah,
So, as always, you don't even know where the time passes.
to talk about, and I know that our viewers are really getting one or two, but actually they can always reach out to Settling. Like we always know, Settling is there to give us all this information once we need them. So our viewers that are watching, you can always reach out to Settling as well. So in case there are things you need to know, you need to ask, you need to be aware, you can reach out to Settling as well. So time is not always enough. Mhm.
Yeah, just talking about settling, like as what we've always mentioned on this show. Now, this 30, 40 minutes is not enough to tell you everything you need to know about what you're going into. Okay, we can always try to give our best within this short period of time, but
Exactly.
again, we can't give everything. So, your best bet is just to sign up on the platform settling, and all the support that you need, you'll get it there. All the resources, the questions, the questions about these different countries, Italy, Germany, and other parts of Europe, you get all the answers on settling. So the best thing you can do is just go sign up for settling. The link will be provided. You just go on the link and sign up exactly, and you have everything. All the resources are there for you. The courses, the countries, and all the other options. And you can meet other persons like our guest here on the show today. Rolex is here. You can also have persons on the platform, and you get all the answers to your questions. And it makes life a lot easier for you. The right question at the right time can save you a lot of money. You never can tell. So, can we have your last words for today, Rolex?
Yeah, you can see it's really a joy to experience other countries, and also
Yeah.
when you are in Europe, you can access other countries too with your permit. You just take a flight to another country and see what's going on there, but you don't stay more than 3 months, so you have to come back immediately. Yeah. So my last words for us is that if you want a better life, if you want not really necessarily a better life, maybe if you want to experience something different. You want more, you just want something, you can as well look into studying abroad or working abroad, coming abroad to do one or two things. And probably if you don't want to stay, you can come and go back and come. It's just life experience. You want to explore life. You want to explore life from different angles. You can always do a lot of things. And these are the informations you need that we are providing like this. So I'm telling viewers to first of all have enthusiasm, and then your intentions will push you further. You need to meet people who are in that line of what you want for yourself. Like how we are talking about studying abroad, those who like studies should also take it. Most people see it as if they just want to go abroad, just want to leave the country, but then you need a purpose. That is why most visas are being denied. The embassy see that you don't really have a purpose. Most people just say, I give this agent 10 million naira to do something for me, and he didn't do it. What is the purpose? You don't just give money to an agent to do something for you without purpose. The embassy look at your purpose. So if you are trying to travel, you need a purpose. And then they look at that sincerity. Some people also say, okay, the embassy rejects on visa because they say they don't believe that you will return back. Now, why the embassy doesn't believe that you will return back is because you were not convincing enough of what you are going there to do and how you apply to your life and how it makes you grow. Because if it makes you grow, you're not necessarily going to stay in one place. You are going to grow again. So your growth is integration. You are going to move. Even if you come from Africa to Europe, you can also move from Europe to America. You are growing. These are the kind of people they easily accept. They see your purpose, they see what you want to do, and then they say, "Oh, this is a good asset to the world. Let's let him fly." They let you fly, and then you explode. So that's it. I
Yeah.
want to just have the good intention, and then have your purpose of moving. Thank you so
As
much.
a matter of fact, even as individuals, you don't want somebody who would come and add to your problem. You want a friend who would add value. So no country wants to go and say carry somebody who is coming with a trailer load of problems, or somebody who is coming with a trailer load of solutions to add value. Would always be welcome.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be joining the coaching here today. But please keep the conversation going. You can ask your questions in the comment section on the different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and all that. Ask your questions, and I will be happy to respond to you. And most importantly, please try to sign up on the Zeppelin platform. That is where you get all that you need the most. And please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now. This is all we have for you today. Bye for now. Thank you so much, Dicky, for showing up today. It's been a very wonderful time with you. Thank you so much. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, have a nice day. Jonathan.